together. Keep your dream alive. Around the clock, we're gonna rock to the rhythm of the beat. Up and down the block.
He's Blake. I'm Ronnie. All the good names are taken. Podcast, Blake, another random live stream out of the blue. We were filming some content for the next couple of weeks. And I was like, hey, let's go live. And you were like,
why not?
So a really simple show that we want to talk about, Blake. We wanted to unveil the 31 days lineup that we're going to be doing in October. After last year, we thought maybe we took on a little too much. This is like a tradition. This will be like our 8th consecutive year. If you go back to the audio podcast of us spending the entirety of October reviewing a horror movie every day. The good thing is, Blake, once we moved over to YouTube, we can redo a few of the ones that we did early on. So we figured, let's see if we can make it a tradition for as long as we can keep it up on our YouTube channel. So this year, we're also going to try to give everybody 31 horror movie reviews in the month of October. We're planning guests. We'll see how that goes. And let's get right to it, Blake. Let's get to
the actual. Let's see what we got going on this year.
Before I unveil this, do you think we can do it? Think we can actually get through?
Yes, we always struggle, but it gets done every single year. There's no question about it. It's going to get done.
All right, here we go. So this is the list for October of this year. As you can see, 31 movies, 1, 2, 3, 4, over the course of 5 weeks, Blake. So this is a game me and Blake like to do. We go through, I say the title, and Blake tells me what he thinks the movie's about. Now, obviously, Blake has seen a couple of these, and if he's seen it, he's going to tell us what it's really about. And if he hadn't seen it, then he's just going to take a guess. So, Blake, right off the bat, day 1 of October, me and you are going to kick it off with Slaughter High. This is one we have reviewed on the audio podcast. Do you remember this movie? Don't give it all away.
I think I do, Ronnie, but I could be confusing it with 3 or 4 other high school horror movies that we reviewed in the past. But I think this is about someone who was bullied at the school, and they come back and they kill off these people at a reunion, maybe one by one.
Yes.
So yeah, I got that one right. I almost went a different direction, but yeah, I think this is a guy who got bullied. And
I think it was a movie that was filmed in England.
Yeah, it was.
They're all trying to do American accents. So it's sort of like Darren trying to do the American accent when he does like the country accent in the Roadhouse in a review we did with him. So day 2, I believe that says Creep Show, Blake.
Ronnie, fun fact, I've never seen that.
You've never seen the original Creep Show?
No, I'm excited about watching it.
It's an anthology. You got multiple stories throughout.
I love stuff like that. Yeah.
You're going to love it. It's got Tom Atkins in it as a drunk dad that's mean to his fat son.
Is it better than John Carpenter's Body Bags anthology movie?
It is way better. It's like John Carpenter's Body Bags, but almost every.
Wait a minute, Ronnie. Is there a scene in that movie where there's a lot of bugs?
Yeah, roaches.
I may have seen it.
All right. Day 3, Blake. I believe that is Pumpkinhead, if I can see it correctly. My screen's really small.
Yeah, if you ask 10-year-old Blake, he could tell you every detail about this movie. I used to watch this a ton as a kid, but I don't think I've seen it since
Lance
mid-90s. Lance Henriksen, one of my favorite actors from the movie Stone Cold, which is a classic. He's also in some Predator and Alien movies. I don't, whatever. But yeah, Pumpkinhead. I can't remember what summons this monster, but I remember thinking everything about this movie was really cool as a kid, so I can't wait to revisit it.
Pretty sure his son gets run over by a dirt bike, and he goes to the old witch in the woods, and they have to cast a spell to bring the Pumpkinhead back. Next movie, Blake, day 4, we're going to kick off with a zombie movie. And if you notice, Blake, on the calendar right here, if you work down on Wednesday, it's a zombie movie every Wednesday.
Oh, look at you.
Look at that. Look at me.
Boy, I want you to look.
Look at me. Look at me. So we're going 28 days later. Really good movie. Saw it in the movie theater 3 times. Have you seen
Wow.
28 Days Later? Yeah.
Yeah. Not only have I seen it, but I actually revisited it not too long ago. I watched that and the sequel. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Okay, was it 1, 2, 3? Day 5, Thursday of the first week. The remake or sequel, whatever you want to call it, to The Town That Dreaded Sundown. Tandy will be live in studio with us for that movie. That was one of his choices. So, whenever I say that a guest is going to be here, there's a good chance, like wrestling, card is subject to change, Blake. So we may have Tandy with us. We may not have Tandy with us for that review. But The Town That Dreaded Sundown, the sequel / remake, you know anything about it?
No, I've never seen any version of this movie. I'm excited to see it because this movie was the inspiration to a lot of other horror movies that you and I both like. So I'm excited about this one. This is where Sackhead Jason got his look from. Do I have that fact right?
Yeah, I think they took a lot of Sackhead Jason from the fact that this guy supposedly was going around the Texas countryside with a sack on his head. But I believe the sack on his head was completely different from what Jason intended to do with it. Friday, we're almost wrapping up the first week, Blake. We got Creature from the Black Lagoon. Now, before we talk about this, here's what I envision October looking like. Mostly tape shows with a mixture of live shows mixed in. Those live shows could be on Wednesday. Those live shows could be Saturday morning, Sunday night. We hadn't really decided. It's going to be random, so make sure you have set the notifications bell. But Blake, when we were talking about October for this year, we wanted to make sure to have some classic, old school horror movies in there. And Creature from the Black Lagoon, we're going to test out whether or not we can review old school movies. So
yeah, I hadn't seen a lot of these movies, but I'm a huge fan of like the Universal monster movies and stuff like that, Ronnie. And I think you and I breaking these down, these movies from the 30s, 40s, and 50s is going to be really fun. And I'm excited that we're starting off with that one.
Hey, Josh, the horror guy, is in the chat. Hey, Josh, hope everything's going well. The Town That Dreaded Sundown is a classic. He's right. The original Town That Dreaded Sundown is a classic. I've seen this new one, and I don't know what to think about that. Speaking of classics, Blake.
Hey, I think like when you talk about the best horror titles in ever, I think that's one that don't get mentioned enough. The Town That Dreaded Sundown.
Yeah, because
between that and Sleepaway Camp.
Saturday of week 1, Blake. Jeff Ward classic, Swamp Ape. 58 minutes of goodness in this movie. And should I go ahead and give it away who's supposed to be reviewing that movie with us, or should I hold on to it in case they try to cancel?
I think by saying it, you're holding them accountable. So
do you think I need to say that Slaughtered Lamb, Frank, and Darren are going to come on with us and review Jeff Ward's Swamp Ape for October?
Yeah.
Like I said, though.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Card subject to change.
Yeah. I think they're going to like it. I'm excited to get Frank's take on Swamp Ape. Has he ever heard of Swamp Ape? Like the legend of Swamp Ape?
My guess is Darren has not told Frank that he has to review this movie yet. If I had to guess. All right. Kicking up week 2, Blake. A classic. We don't throw the word classic around loosely. The Faculty.
Yeah, I've seen that. I mean, I can tell you, it was Josh Hartnett, the height of Josh Hartnett. So yeah.
I mean, I love The Faculty. I really love The Faculty. Spoiler alert. I'm going
to. Yeah, I mean, we'll get into it when we review it, but it's it's very comparable to The Thing. Is it as good as The Thing? No, but what I'm saying is, as far as what happens and how fast it takes over, and it'd be like if a thing happened in society instead in Antarctica.
Yeah, or Invasion of the Body Snatchers was updated in the 90s. Blake, Monday of week 2, Mosquito.
Never seen it. If I had to guess the synopsis, it's probably about you and I living in South Mississippi around right now in June and July. It's miserable, and there's mosquitoes everywhere.
The guy that played Leatherface in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the leading good guy in this movie. Mutant mosquitoes attacking people all around. Blake, I don't know anything about Bela Lugosi and Boris Karloff, in Korolev and the Black Cat.
F you.
So that's another one that should be very interesting when me and you watch it, if we can make it through it.
Everybody knows black cats are unlucky. So, yeah, I'm sure it's going to have something to do with it. And you got two legends of the game. You got, what is it, Dracula and Frankenstein in the same movie?
There you go. Wednesday, Zombie Wednesday, the video dead, Blake.
Have you made me review this before?
Yeah, we did it on the audio podcast.
Yeah, so I mean I can't tell you anything about it, so I guess it didn't really have a lasting effect on me, but yeah.
Last year we had Boz and Tim review Critters 1 to great success. Go check it out in the archives if you want to watch them. This year we're going to let Boz and Tim review Critters 2, Blake. So we'll get this Thursday off unless you want to pop in and make sure they don't screw it up.
I'll pop in and say hello.
All right. Friday of that week will be the Horror Express. I think this may be a video nasty. I really don't know. Should be interesting. What do you think the Horror Express is about? I hear Horror Express. I think the wrestling tag team, Orient Express.
Yeah, I think these guys are going to be stuck on a train, and there's going to be some killers on the train, possessed killers on the train trying to kill the passengers.
Throw mama from the train. Josh says he's a huge fan of Bela Lugosi, and Black Cat is a good movie if you're into old school horror. Me and Blake are the definition of old school horror. There's no old school horror we don't know. Saturday, Blake, what better than to watch on a Saturday than a movie I've never seen? Sleepaway Camp 2, Unhappy Campers.
Well, if it's just half as good as the original, I think we're in for a treat. I mean, the original is one of my favorite movies of all time with the surprise ending, the foot-long surprise ending. Easy. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what Angela has been up to in this time frame. Yeah.
All right, Blake, starting week 3 with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation. Everybody knows Matthew McConaughey's in this movie looking studly with his little knee brace. He has the remote control working for. I almost said Renee Russo, but that ain't her name. I don't know her damn name, so I'm not even going to attempt to remember.
I think it's Zellweger.
Yeah, her, Jerry Maguire. This should be a fun one, Blake. We got a guest lined up for this one. We'll see how that works. Monday of week 3, Damien, The Omen 2. Blake, this is actually one of your picks. Why did you want to watch The Omen 2 and not The Omen 1?
I don't know. I don't have a good answer for that. Because I don't remember much about The Omen 1. So I think it's just because of the research I'm going to have to do to prepare for it. I'm going to have to watch The Omen 1, and then I'll follow up with 2. I've never seen 3 or 4 either. So yeah, I'm excited. And don't Jurassic Park end up like being the Omen guy in the later movies?
In part 3.
Sam Neill?
Yeah, Sam Neill's the Omen in part 3. Tuesday is the one I'm looking forward to, Blake.
Oh, my goodness.
Slumber Party Massacre Part 2. There's going to be a lot of singing in this episode, guys. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, get ready. Go ahead and skip Tuesday if you want. But because if you don't think I'm going to be singing Let's Buzz, then you don't know me very well. That movie is fantastic. It's fantasy, and I cannot wait to watch that movie. Speaking of fantasy, Blake, he was singing on Facebook.
What's that?
Chris Fantasy. He was singing. He sent a video of him singing on Facebook. The Slaughterland Facebook page.
He didn't send it. I hadn't seen it.
You need to check it out. I actually saw it. It was actually great. Dude's got a set of lungs on him. Wednesday is Zombie Wednesday, Blake. Night of the Living Dead, 1990, the remake. Sex Machine, Tom Savini directed this movie. I actually think it's better than the original. Spoiler alert. So looking forward to that one. Have you ever seen that one, Blake? I think you have.
It's been years. Is this Vince Vaughn?
No, this is not Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn is the Psycho remake.
Psycho remake that you wanted to do. It's on here.
Oh, okay.
Isn't it?
It is.
Where's it at? Oh, it's right next. Thursday, Vince Vaughn, the Psycho remake. Another one of Blake's picks. Why'd you pick this, Blake? This is awful.
Okay.
I've only seen it once, so I may like it 100 years later.
You're going to like it. You're going to like the way it looks.
Another one of the rest of these are Blake's picks. The Amityville Horror for Friday of week 3. I think I've only seen this movie one time, so this is going to be a fun rewatch and review. I love anything with haunted houses.
I used to watch one of the Amityvilles all the time. I can't remember which one it was though. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to that franchise again.
You remember what friend of the show Keys used to say? He said he can handle Leatherface and Jason but he can't handle these haunted. These.
Well, yeah, that was something me and Keys used to always talk about. Is you can't do nothing with demons and ghosts and witches. I mean, there's no way you can't square up on them and beat them up. I mean, they're there. It's like the zombies in Return of the Living Dead. There's no way to get rid of them.
Send more cops.
Blake, this was another one of your picks. The Prowler? Was that your pick or mine?
I think it was my pick. Yeah, this movie was getting a lot of love around the internet, and it got me curious. I wanted to see it. I wanted to add it to the list and check it out.
All right, we start week 4, Blake, with Child's Play 2. Pretty sure we didn't do Child's Play 1 last year.
Who's Jack?
Don't know.
Sorry, Jack. Chucky's back.
I think there was a movie called Jack's Back. I don't know anything about it. People Under the Stairs, Blake. I haven't seen that movie in 30 years.
I've never seen it. If I had to guess a synopsis, there's really bad people living under the stairs in this house.
You could not be more wrong about that movie. We're going to love Tuesday of that week, Blake. John Carpenter's The Fog.
It's not the one with Tom Welling?
Not Tom Welling, John Carpenter, Tom Atkins, Thrill Me, Jamie Lee Curtis, the guy that was the one-liner guy from Assault on Precinct 13.
Got to smoke.
Wednesday, we're watching Zombie. Yeah, I know you remember watching that one 100 years ago, Blake, when we did the audio podcast. That one was really fun. So that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Thursday, Student Bodies. Don't ask me. I've never seen it, but it looks like it's pretty scary.
It looks like it has everything I want in a horror movie.
Friday of that week, Tenebrae. Is it Tenebrae? Tenebrae? How you say it, Blake?
Tenebrae is right.
Okay. And then your pick for Saturday that week, The Burning. So
yeah, I told you earlier, that's a Frank pick. I think he was talking about it a while back, and I was interested. I want to see it.
I've never seen it. And we're wrapping up October as we head towards Halloween, Blake, if we're still surviving. Sunday of the last week of week 5, we've got The Crazies with Timothy Oliphant, a.k.a. Mickey from Scream 2, Billy's Mother. So I don't know if you've seen that movie or not. Have you?
I've never seen The Crazies.
You want to guess what it's about?
Oh, I know what it's about. It's a town full of crazies.
October the 30th, which is usually the show that we go absolutely nuts and have the most fun because we know it's almost over. Blood Lake. You missed this one on the audio podcast. My wife had to fill in for you. She absolutely loved this movie. And by loved, I mean hated. Yeah. And you're going to love it too, Blake.
I'm excited.
You want to guess what it's about?
Sounds wet. Sounds really wet.
Josh the Horror Guy says, I love The Burning. Such a fun little slasher movie. Every time I would hear The Burning, I would think like somebody's getting burned up. I wouldn't think of it as like a slasher movie. I'm not
Josh,
very
good.
Can
you name 2 or 3 horror movies that you're not a fan of?
That's a good point.
Have we listed anything up here that you're not really a fan of? Not that you haven't seen, but that you're just, that's not for me.
Blake, we're going to wrap up 31 Days 2023 with Jamie Lee Curtis and Michael Myers coming back together after 20 years in Halloween H2O, which was also your pick.
Yeah, so one of the better movies in the franchise with one of the better soundtracks. Yeah, what better way to end Halloween, Ronnie, than with Jamie Lee Curtis and Michael Myers and LL Cool J.
There you go. So that's the tentative lineup. Now, like I said, everything is subject to change. There may be some of these movies that we cannot find to rent or don't have. We're not very good at finding illegal copies to download. So if some of these change, we'll let you guys know well in advance. So make sure you plan out your October so that you can join myself, Blake, and a ton of guests as we have one hell of a good time over the course of those 31 days. It should be interesting. Unless something happens, Blake, we should have the entire ATG and AT crew with us at some point over that.
Nah, I'll believe it when I see it, brother.
So really quickly, if we wanted to get the whole crew together, Blake, to watch one of these movies, which one would it be?
I would probably say Child's Play 2. That's going to be the easiest watch for everybody because not everybody can sit through garbage like you and I, Ronnie. But Child's Play 2, I think, is something that, I mean, if you say it's a Chucky movie, then, you know, they'll sit through it.
See, I would think everybody sitting together to watch Zombie would be hilarious. I really do.
I mean, if we were sitting together watching it, yeah, but you got to remember these guys are
have to watch. They actually have to go through the effort of trying to watch it
right
on their own. Okay, so this is not a very long stream, guys. Somehow it has went 20 minutes. Ooh, I didn't intend for it to go that long, Blake.
We got to go.
We just wanted to do a video where we let everybody know that 31 days has been planned. 31 days is, I would say, ready to go. And
ready to
also,
go, babe.
I guess this now is a good time to tell you guys, if we disappear for a week or week and a half or two, don't panic.
It's okay.
We're doing work for October.
It's all right.
Hit us up on our social medias. Hit us up in the comment of any of these videos, and we'll let you guys know everything's okay.
I just activated my Instagram, Ronnie, so I'm finna be putting them pictures out there like crazy.
You just letting everybody know that?
Yeah.
You trust these people for that?
What do you mean trust them? I'm the one doing the posting.
Oh, I'm just talking about I wouldn't want anybody to know my personal Instagram.
Why?
Because I don't want people seeing my pictures. That's the reason I got it on private.
Why do you have an Instagram?
Well, I got one for the show.
Oh.
Yeah.
I got an Instagram, but I don't want anybody to see my pictures.
Yeah.
It's like having a Facebook, but I don't want anybody to know my thoughts.
I think Keys had an Instagram for the longest time and no photos, and he put it on private so people would ask. And then when they got in there, he saw there's no photos, just so they'd be mad.
That's why he's a legend.
That is why he's a legend. He did ask the other day, are we ready for Santa Claus to come back? And I told him no. All right. Hit us in the comments, guys. What do you think about the lineup for October?
Yeah, thumbs up, thumbs down. Ronnie, do you want to? Are we going to document our 7-day fast next week, or you don't want to do that?
We can.
You think we could make a short out of it?
I think we could make a short a day.
Well, upload a short a day, not just make one long short.
Yeah, I think we could upload a short a day. Do we want to tell everybody really quickly? Me and Blake have a bet. Starting Sunday at midnight, we're going to start a fast and see who can go the longest. Now, obviously, we're just going to be drinking liquids. The rules are he's going to drink water. I can drink my Diet Cokes that I love so much. That's it. And we'll document it daily. I'll let Blake load those shorts up and we'll see how it goes. But anyway, hit us in the comments. Tell us if there's any movie on this October schedule that's a mistake that we should not waste our time watching, and we'll think about changing it. And anything else, Blake?
No, that's it, man. This was fun.
Yeah, make sure you guys hit the notifications because we're going live at all random times.
If anybody wants to donate me a mic, follow me on Instagram, and I'll give you my address.